Okay, so I'd like to call this meeting to order, and it's the 45th meeting of the 7th Council of the Municipality of South Dundas. We are here just to deal with one bylaw today. Any disclosure of pecuniary. Well, first of all, I'm going to ask for a roll call from the clerk.
Mayor Byvelds?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Gardner?
Here.
Councillor Wells?
Here.
Councillor Lewis?
Here.
Councillor Mellon?
Here.
CAO Garrity?
Here.
And Clerk Brunt.
Okay, so we're all here. Any disclosure of pecuniary interest in the general nature thereof?
No. 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 No.
Hearing none, we'll have one bylaw today. It's 2020-22, procedural bylaw amendment. I will call on the clerk to read the motion, and then we will do our discussion from there. You need to read the motion so that somebody can move it.
So this motion says that bylaw number 2020-22 being a bylaw to rescind bylaw numbers 2018-72 and 2019-76 and to govern the proceedings of council and its committees be read and passed in open council, signed and sealed.
I'll have a mover, please.
Moved. Oh, sorry.
You need a name.
Oh, Archie Mellon. Lloyd will second it.
Okay, thank you. I'll ask Brenda to go on, clerk to go on.
So we've presented this bylaw today to amend the procedural bylaw to allow electronic participation in that section 5.9. Also, we've added the definitions of electronic participation and what an emergency is. Also, during this, we've put in some rules about meetings held during an emergency. And also we've added a stipulation in there about recording and broadcasting meetings. Those have been highlighted in the bylaw for your perusal. Everything else was just a housekeeping, some wording that was changed to make it obviously better. Just a the or a and here and there. So we can open the floor now for questions or comments.
Any questions or comments? And please state your name first.
Kirsten Gardner, I have a question.
Go ahead.
When we do this with the regular council meeting, potentially on the 6th, do you extend the the telecon invitation? Like how do we include, say, the press?
Okay, so Kaylin and I are working on video conferencing and also the teleconferencing. So we're going to include the press in there, so anybody that wants to listen is going to be able to listen.
Oh, that sounds really good. Actually, we I don't know if you guys have looked at what the video conferencing for the counties have done. Nick uses it all the time. It's worked really well. I've used it for 3 meetings, and it's very reliable, and I'm pretty sure it's maybe free too. So I can say, I don't know if you've seen that, but it works quite well. Thank you.
No, thank you for that. I did not know they were doing that, and I will touch base with Nick. Kaylin and I had a bunch of ideas, and we've come up with let's say a cheaper solution that we think will work, but maybe he has some ideas to add to that.
Yeah, it's worked really well, Brenda. So, and our computers works really well. You can call in. You don't have to do the video portion. You can do the video portion, and it shows everybody on the screen, which generally speaking, it's just a really nice format and very, very easy to use.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments from any of the members of council?
Yeah, Archie, I like that idea. I mean, this telephone conference is all right for a short agenda like this, but if we were going to go down the road where we're going to do a full council meeting, I think we need it'd be nice to have a video conference or over the computer or whatever would be much better. A question, this will be in place as long as the state of emergency is declared. If we lift the state of emergency, then do we have to go back and review this bylaw again, or does this stay in there in case we need it again?
No, that will stay in there in case we need it again, but it will be lifted once the emergency is over. We go back to the regular meeting rules.
Yeah, we'll go back. Okay.
Anything else? Don, Councillor Lewis?
Oh, that was the same question I was going to ask that Councillor Millen asked, so I'm good with that. Thank you.
Councillor Wells?
No, I like the idea too about the video. It seems like be more like a real meeting. Like this will work, but I like the idea about the video. That's pretty much it.
Okay, and to be honest, I know this is challenging, doing a teleconference and having a meeting, and we certainly wouldn't do a broad-based meeting doing such. And if there's a solution out there that our clerk and communication coordinator can do for us that works and is real simple, then we certainly will have to look at it. And we certainly want to make sure that the press is involved to the best extent possible. And in theory, we can still open up this chamber if people really, really want to come and see what we do. We are still considering what we do with our public planning meetings, and that's something that's not really part of the procedural bylaw. It's kind of governed by another set of guidelines and regulations that we need to work with. But at present, we're going to try to avoid anything we don't need to have the public must attend. And anything I have read concerning all this, we are doing the best we can, and as long as we're trying to be as open and transparent as possible, and this comes from the likes of Fred Dean and Nigel Belchamber, then we're doing our due diligence. And I'm sure that as long as we keep in mind that we're trying to do the best we can and trying to stay open and transparent as possible, that the residents of South Dundas will recognize and appreciate that. Is there anything else from any other councillors?
Yeah, Mayor Bivels, just I guess one other comment. If I realize this is a very fluid situation and it changes, daily, hourly. If come April 6th and we feel that we want to do an electronic meeting, is there any way, I guess, we can do a dry run, practice run to make sure that, the system's going to work and idiots like me that aren't tech savvy don't hit the wrong button and delete half my computer to make sure that it is functioning? Is there any way we can do that, the day or two before to, sort of try it to make sure, the bugs are out of it?
Do you want to respond? Because I got some ideas too. Go
Absolutely, Archie. Councillor Mellon, we will do that with everyone because, of course, we want to make sure it works.
Okay, that'd be great. That'd be my concern. I'm always scared of electronics. But anyways, that'd be great.
Yes, and we need to make sure that if we do anything via our computers, that you have the capacity internet-wise to do so too, because not all of us are hooked onto an Eastlink line, which makes life real easy. So I want to make sure that if we do so, if we do video conferences, that the line is fluid and everything continues to work on. Because if it becomes jittery, then that becomes a frustration source, and our meeting will just fall apart. So, anything else?
Yes, Mayor Bivels, Lloyd here.
Go ahead.
When, come April 6th, is it Ontario, if they lift the state of emergency, we can have meetings, or is it up to us, or what? Just fill me in what's been going on as far as these meetings and stuff.
So as of today, it is not. It's more a advisory than a directive. We don't need to do what we're doing even now, but we're just taking the abundance of caution, like everybody else, to try to keep us all apart to make sure that we can still do what we're doing. In theory, if we could set up chambers to be everybody can be 20 meters apart, or not 20, but 2 meters apart. And we did that at our last meeting. There was enough space to make things work. Probably we can even make it more spacious if we had to. However, there may be somebody that may not feel comfortable in that situation still, and this will still just gives us the tools to do what we need to do. In theory, the clerk and I will be in chambers. That just kind of makes it more official. And the CAO will probably be here also. If any of you want to be here, we can make that accommodation work. I think we're trying to make something that if we do so, then we have to make everything work along with it. But if any one of you do not want to be here, then this is a method that we can continue with quorum and have you present as a voting and full participating member of council. I don't see anything changing in the next week, 2 weeks to make this any different, but we'll see how it goes. If things, we still want to do the best we can, and as I said, if you want to be here, we will make that work somehow, one way or the other.
Fully understood. Thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions, concerns?
Well, it's Archie again. Just maybe a clarification. Maybe you can't do it now. Maybe it's any zoning amendments or any time-sensitive issues or concerns. It's almost. Is it really doable to have that by electronic thing, or are we going to keep? We pushed it back at the last council meeting. It was taken off the agenda, which is understandable. Those time-sensitive issues, maybe they're not time-sensitive, but is it really feasible to try and do, public meetings to deal with zoning or minor variances?
Okay, I'll let the CEO comment on that, because some of the things have changed within the planning area.
So we are currently working with the two zoning amendments that were postponed on March 16th. I am having conversations with Novatech as well as Zanderplan in regards to those two properties to see about the timeline as far as getting the approval. The only issue we have right now is the land tribunal. Everything has stopped due to this COVID-19. So any planning timelines have all halted. So everybody's going to be in the same boat as what we are. If there's any approvals, there won't be any options to appeal or do anything further until this COVID-19 is lifted and the sanctions.
Okay. Thank you, Shannon.
Yep.
Okay, anything else?
Yep.
Okay, if there's nothing else, I'm going to ask the clerk to do the recorded vote.
Mayor Byvelds?
Yes?
Deputy Mayor Gardner?
Yes.
Councillor Wells?
Yes.
Councillor Lewis?
Yes.
Councillor Mellon?
Yes.
Okay, the motion passes. It's carried. Okay, so I'm going to ask the clerk to read the motion to adjourn. I will require a mover and a seconder at the time.
The council now adjourned to meet again at the call of the chair.
Who so moves?
I'll move. Kirsten.
Seconder?
Don will second.
Okay. I will ask the clerk to go through the procedure to record a vote, please.
Mayor Byvelds?
Yes?
Deputy Mayor Gardner?
Yes.
Councillor Wells?
Yes.
Councillor Lewis?
Yes.
Councillor Mellon?
Yes.
Okay, the motion is carried. Thank you very much.